Good afternoon, students. Let's start with our today's topic of English prose. Let's recap. In the last lesson, a team of workers, we had seen about the different parts of our body, including our sense organs, and we had discussed and learned about them in detail. Hope you all must have understood that lesson very well. Now, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the story of the two merchants of Seri. So now, I am going to narrate this story. Students, all of you listen very carefully. Once upon a time, in a place called Seri, there lived a merchant. He went from town to town for selling pots and pans and other things made of brass and tin. He traveled every day with other merchants who also sold brass and tinware. But the other man was greedy. He sold his things in a very high price. But when he buy, he tried to give as little as possible. The both merchants divided the streets between them. They went up and down the streets. They had chosen people, came out to their doorsteps for buying and trading with them. Only after one merchant had finished his business on that street did the other one make his rounds there. In those days, people did not use money to buy things. They exchanged things of the same value. In one house, there lived a poor old woman and her granddaughter. They had been rich once, but now the only thing they had left was a dish made of gold. But the grandmother did not know it was a golden dish. The dish was on a shelf with other pots and pans and was not used often. Now the greedy merchant passed his house. The granddaughter asked her grandmother to buy something for her. The old woman said that they are too poor to buy anything and don't even have anything to trade with. The granddaughter brought that gold dish and told her grandmother to give this dish and can trade with something nice for it. The old woman called the greedy merchant and asked him to give little girl something in return of this dish. The greedy man took the dish and scratched its side with a needle. He immediately came to know it was a golden dish. But he wanted to get it for nothing from the old woman, so he said, "It's not a worth, not even a copper coin." And he threw the dish on the ground and went away. He was planning to come back after some time and buy the dish for a few copper coins as if doing a great favor on her. After a while, the honest merchant finished the rounds of his streets and entered the street where the old lady lived. He passed the old woman's house calling. The little girl heard and again begged her grandmother to see what this merchant would give for the dish. The grandmother said the merchant threw this dish on the ground and went away, and I have nothing else to offer and trade. The girl said that this merchant looks pleasant and perhaps he will give us something for it. The old woman agreed and said, call him and show it to him. As soon the merchant took the dish in his hands, he knew it was of gold. Immediately he said, this is a golden dish. It is worth more than all my money and wares. I will bring enough money tomorrow and then buy it from you. The old woman was surprised and was impressed by the honesty and goodness of the merchant. She said him to take the dish and give him the money tomorrow. The honest merchant kept all his wares and money with the old woman and took the dish. He only left himself with money for the boat ride. After some time, the greedy merchant went back to the house and asked the old woman to give the golden dish, and I will give you something for it. The old woman refused and said him that you said that dish was worthless, but another honest merchant has paid a great price for it, so I give it to him. You should not take advantage of the poor and needy people. What could the greedy merchant say? He paid the price for his dishonesty and greed. Moral of the story is honesty is the best policy. So I hope everyone have understood this story which I had narrated you all just now. Now it's a reading time. So please open your textbook, page number 51. Take pencils in your hands for marking the hard words. Wherever I feel like explaining the meaning of the hard words, I will explain you all. So let's start with the lesson number 23, the two merchants of Seri. Once upon a time, in a place called Seri, there lived a merchant. Underline the word merchant. He went from town to town selling pots and pans and other things made of brass and tin. Underline the word brass. The meaning of brass is bright yellow metal made by mixing two metals. I repeat, the meaning of brass is bright yellow metal made by mixing two metals. He traveled every day with another merchant who also sold brass and tinware. Underline the word tinware. The meaning of tinware is things made of tin or metal. I repeat, things made of tin or metal. But this other man was greedy. When he sold something, he sold it at a very high price. But when he bought something, he tried to give as little as possible. When the two merchants went into a town, they divided the streets between them. Each one went up and down the streets he had chosen, calling, tinware for sale, brass for sale. People came out to their doorsteps, underline the word doorsteps, and bought or traded, underline the word traded, with them. Only after one merchant had finished his business on that street Did the other one made his rounds there? Underline the word made his rounds. Meaning of made his rounds means to go from place to place. I repeat again. Made his rounds means to go from place to place. In those days, people did not always use money to buy things. Sometimes they exchanged things of the same value. Underline the word exchanged. In one house there lived a poor old woman and her granddaughter. The family had once been rich, but now the only thing they had left of all their riches. Underline the word riches. Meaning of riches is wealth or valuable things. I repeat, meaning of riches is wealth or a valuable things. Was a dish made of gold. However, the grandmother did not know it was a golden dish. The dish stood on a shelf among the other pots and pans and was not often used. Now, the greedy merchant passed this house calling, "Buy my water jars, buy my pans, buy my tinware." The granddaughter said, "Oh, grandmother, do buy something for me." "My dear," said the old woman, "we are too poor to buy anything. I have not anything to trade even." "Grandmother, see, I have found this old dish among other pots and pans on the shelf. We don't ever use it. Can we trade this?" "Perhaps," underline the word perhaps, "the merchant will take it and give us something nice for it." The old woman called the merchant and showed him the dish, saying, "Will you take this, sir, and give the little girl here something for it?" The greedy man took the dish and scratched its side with a needle. Underline the word scratched. He came to know immediately that it was a golden dish. Underline the word immediately. But he wanted to get it for nothing from the old woman. So he said, "What is this worth? Not even a copper coin." He threw the dish on the ground and went away. The crafty merchant, underline the word crafty. The meaning of crafty is cunning or clever but dishonest. I repeat again, meaning of crafty is cunning or clever but dishonest. Was the crafty merchant was planning to come back after some time and buy the dish for a few copper coins as if doing a great favor to the old lady. After a while, the honest merchant finished the rounds of his streets and entered the street where the old lady lived. He passed her house calling, "Buy my water jars, buy my tinware, buy my brass." The little girl heard him and begged her grandmother to see. Underline the word begged. Meaning of begged means requested. I repeat, meaning of begged means requested. She and begged her grandmother to see what this merchant would give for the dish. "My child," said the grandmother, "the merchant who was just here threw the dish on the ground and went away. I have nothing else to offer in trade." "But, grandmother," said the girl, "this one looks pleasant." Underline the word pleasant. Meaning of pleasant is pleasing or polite. I repeat, meaning of pleasant means pleasing or polite. "Ask him. Perhaps he will give us something for it." "Call him then and show it to him," said the old woman. As soon as the merchant took the dish in his hands, he knew it was of gold. Immediately he said, underline the word immediately, "This is a golden dish. It is worth more than all my money and all my wares." Underline the word wares. Wares means articles or things for sale. I repeat again, meaning of wares means articles or things for sale. "I will bring enough money tomorrow and then buy it from you." The old woman was greatly surprised. She was impressed by the honesty and goodness, underline the word impressed, of the merchant. Take this dish and give me the money tomorrow, she said. The honest merchant kept all his wares and money with the old woman and took the dish. He left himself only enough money for the boat ride, underline the word boat ride, that he had to take on his way back. After some time, the greedy merchant went back to the house where he had seen the golden dish and said, "Bring that dish to me, and I will give you something for it." "No," said the grandmother. "You said the dish was worthless." Underline the word worthless. Meaning of worthless means having no value. I repeat again, meaning of worthless means having no value. But another honest merchant has paid a great price for it, so I gave it to him. You should not try to take advantage of the poor and the needy people. What could the greedy merchant say? He paid the price for his dishonesty and greed. Underline the word dishonesty. So, I hope everyone have understood this story and this lesson very well. Thank you, students. Stay home, stay safe.